Hey, Aileen, I'm Mike Manal from the Nerds of Color. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. I love your background.
Thank you so much. I love looking at your background. It's technically you, so I love it. I love that you're my background as well. Um, I got really excited when they asked if I could interview you because I missed out on you at San Diego Comic-Con. I was able to chat with the whole cast, and I missed you. And honestly, this is such an honor. I get the whole cast now. So thank you for taking the time to chat.
Of course.
Now for me, I was so impressed because I had no idea going into the movie that this was your first major movie role. You
Hmm.
played it off like a pro, and to get that call that your first major movie role is going to be in one of the biggest cinematic legacies of all time. What was that
Hmm.
like for you when you got that call and when you auditioned? All of this, the whole process of getting joining the Alien crew.
I cried out of excitement and I called my mother. I call her every time something major happens in my life. She was back in China at the time visiting my grandparents and she cried as well, which just made me cry harder. 'Cause it felt like a lottery ticket, you know? I went through drama school at NYU and had just graduated a year before landing this role, and they prep you in school very hard for rejection, and they don't prep you at all when a really, really good thing comes knocking on your door. And I felt like it was the universe way of saying, "You're ready. If you're not ready, we wouldn't have given you this, but you're ready and go show the world what you're capable of." And yeah, don't let us down. I don't know if it was my ancestors saying that or the universe, or maybe they're the same thing. But yeah, I felt very, very blessed.
And you know what? I mean, the universe and your ancestors should be very proud because you didn't let us down at all.
But
You,
I was a mess on set. So the reason Navarro looks so badass on screen is all props to all the work they did in the editing room.
don't sell yourself short. I think it was your acting too. You were just a badass. Like
Thank you.
it's it's so great because like the Alien franchise doesn't typically have a whole lot of POC cast members in its legacy. And we have a wonderful Asian actor portraying, really kicking off this movie and setting the tone for this movie with the most iconic I hate to say it, but the most iconic death in this movie. um but your presence is so felt even after your final scene. And I have to ask, I mean, like, when you saw that you were going to be dying, were you prepared for it? Were you like, oh my gosh, I mean, like, this is going to set the standard and the tone for the entire movie? Have you rewatched it over and over? All of that.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, when I read the script, I hadn't landed the role yet, but I was familiar with the magnitude of what this character represents in this franchise, and that I was playing a that her downfall kind of go will go down in history as someone whose chest been bursted by a xenomorph. Um, and yeah, I was so ready to do it. I think there was so much anticipation leading up to those days, but it feels really good because in a scene like that, it feels like you're on the field playing a sport and you just got to leave it all out there and come home with no regrets. And I love that my theater training really prepped me for doing such a physical scene and kind of know where my limit is at, know how to push that limit if they want to keep going. And yeah, for those moments is really about getting the shot. Like you either have what that moment requires or we didn't get it and we have to go again.
For me, it is so iconic. It is one of the most iconic in a franchise just full of chest bursting scenes. This is the first that we get an X-ray of what's
Yeah.
going on inside, and I thought that you and Fetty did such a great job bringing that to life. So I love it so much. Um, I know that your brother was a fan of the Alien franchise, and I wanted to know. I know that you necessarily kind of got into it a little bit after, but once you found out that you got the role, did you end up researching and rewatching the entire series, trying to emulate or replicate, or channel any of the specific characters in the series, or the spirit?
For sure, yeah, I had to go back and rewatch, or just watch everything because I hadn't watched them before, but I tried really hard not to. I remember leading up to the chestburster scene that I did go back and watch the chestburster scene from the first movie, and I think after watching it a couple of times, I had a moment of realization. I was like, "Oh, I need to stop watching this because on set, I'm gonna start to do what I'm seeing the actor do right now, and I need to be able to adapt on my feet and work with Fede to create something that is very original and it feels like it's in the world of our film. Because I think our Romulus does such a good job at honoring the originals, especially the first two, that that's already taken care of and that's written into the script and that I don't need to do anything particular to replicate. I think that's the last thing you want to do as an actor, you know what I mean? And but when Fede came into the hair and makeup room that day when we were doing a test, he was like, "Shave off her head," and I was like, "Yes, we're going alien, uh, aliens, military style." Um, Vasquez, is that her name?
Yeah.
The second one? Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people are like, "Oh, this is a callback to Sigourney in Alien 3." And I was like, "Mm-mm. She's Vasquez. She's much more down and dirty, you know. She's got an intensity to her." Yeah.
And you pulled that off brilliantly. It fits in seamlessly with the franchise while being its own thing. That's one
Yes.
of the best things about Romulus. Aileen, I'm so proud of you.
Thank
Congratulations. You
you.
did so brilliantly. You are officially even immortalized on a VHS, the first one in decades,
I
for this
know.
fantastic film. And honestly, we're so lucky to have you as part of this franchise. Thank you so much for your time. This was amazing. Truly a gift.
Thank you, Mike.
Artists and professors, maybe a nerd who's just like you, talking about the things that you like too. So I invite you to the NOC. In full color, you see me. The hard knock life, comics, movies, and TV. Yeah, pop culture with a different perspective. Watch it on your screen, hit play, so check this.